I'm at my reformer Pilates class and I got to thinking, what if aliens could see me here? What would they think of all of us middle aged people, women mostly, and one guy with our legs up in the air like we're at some sort of OBGYN convention? We look like we're doing some sort of Lamaze class where we're all going to birth gremlins. I feel like the aliens would say, and they say we're the weird ones. I mean, it barely looks like exercise if we're being honest, but it is very, very good for my back. If you're new here, hi, my name is Helen, and I've been introducing myself lately in these vlogs as a work from home mom, which is what I have been for the last, well over a decade now. And I'm in Canada. That's why it's so cold looking here, because it is still very cold. This video vlog is going to be a little different from my other ones because I have a few things to get off my chest, specifically about the current body LED mask situation. Well, I'll sit down and tell you more about that in a little bit. It's so slippery out, and that is one thing I do not miss when the winter is over. I miss the snow a little bit, but I never miss the ice. So I'm going to try and make it home in one piece and get warm and have a chat with you guys. And if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to like and consider subscribing. We have a lot of fun around here. I was sorely tempted to pick up a baguette from this bakery near me, but I passed it up this time. Check out the sign. Everybody's supporting local Canadian goods lately. Ooh, my package has arrived. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Let me put a light on here and see if that's any better. I don't know. Is that better? I feel like when I'm in the full dark, it's maybe a little dark. Okay. I am just getting through a few tasks here, including opening this letter. Are you still getting paper letters? I just bought this little tool. I used to have one back in the day to open letters because I'm just tired of futzing with them. This is just an inexpensive thing. It's like a safety blade for opening letters. So if I remember to do so, I'll put a link. If you're getting a lot of letters and you just hate having to stick your finger in there or stick a pen in there to try and open it. Okay. Right. Nothing important there. We're going to do a lot of other things in this video, but the first thing that's been on my mind today has been current body LED masks. Now, I make videos about these. And then yesterday I was watching a YouTuber who I like. She primarily is a vlogger. What I saw was very dramatic. So we're going to talk about that in a second. In fact, I'll take you upstairs. But in the meantime, I just want to show you what I've been up to. I've been working on watercolor. Um, actually like how this orange tree turned out. I had to go back to it a second time because I don't think I got the shadows right the first time around. Happy with it now. So the watercolor's coming along. And then yesterday, I mean, I've been having a great few sessions. Yesterday, I painted this vase. Don't mind this. This is taped off in my sketchbook for another day, maybe today, if I have time. But I think that kind of turned out cute. I like taping off these edges. It makes it look so crisp compared to like when you don't tape off edges. Here's just some embroidery. I decided to paint some of my embroidery stuff, which was kind of fun. And then I promise I won't bore you the whole video with all my different art over the last few days, but just very quickly, my sketchbook has been super cute too. So I've been really kind of pretty pleased with how my art has been turning out these last couple days. So let's go upstairs now. I'm going to disclose some stuff and tell you why I was frankly almost horrified at what I saw in this video. Perhaps it's not for me to judge, but I'll let you guys be the judge. Let's go upstairs. Okay, this is my CurrentBody Series 2 LED skincare mask. I enjoy it. I use it almost every single day. I've made lots of videos, I think 4, just reviewing it since October. So here's my disclosure. Here's my relationship with CurrentBody. I am not a brand ambassador for them. I'm not sponsored by them. They don't pay me to feature these masks. What they do, though, and what I really appreciate and why I make the reviews in the first place is that they will send me products to test, no questions asked. They just send it to me. They don't ask for a review. They don't ask to vet it. Nothing like that. They just send me devices. Speaking of which, I'm getting another device from them, which I'm excited about, which I will show you guys. Now, a further disclosure is that they had offered at one point to like start negotiating for a sponsorship deal. While that could have been somewhat lucrative for me, I said no. And here's the reason why. I have never taken sponsorships from anybody. I'm not opposed to it. I don't think for many others here that is necessarily wrong, especially if you've disclosed that it's an ad. I don't have a problem with it for other people. For me, it's not possible. And the main reason for that is I'm still a working lifestyle journalist. I don't write all the time. I'm not like an editor for a magazine or a writer who's got like a long-term contract with anybody, but it's a real slippery slope for me to promote something like this mask and then also try and make videos about it and then maybe even write for like a magazine or an online place about it when I have this pre-existing sponsored relationship. So for me, it's a no-go. So I only accept these devices from CurrentBody if they have zero expectations in return. Not even a video. Even if they said, we'll give it to you, but you have to make a video about it, that would be a no for me. So that's where I stand on these, and that's what I've been doing so far. And I've been using CurrentBody products since the year 2022. So the thing that I saw from the vlogger, who I've watched for years, for me, she's a bit of a comfort vlogger. I don't know if you have people like that. Maybe I'm your comfort vlogger, which is such an honor. Thank you. Let's see, are you guys straight? And I'll link up her video down somewhere below in case this is of interest to you to see what I'm talking about. Honestly, she sat for 5 minutes talking about all of the upside of using this LED mask. And I guess it was a sponsored content, or maybe it's just because she wants to sell more of them. I was kind of appalled that she talked about it for so long, for so long, and without any sense of the other side of the story. Like, I always try and say, like, who this mask is contraindicated for, because it is not for everybody, if I feel like it's really helped me. And long story short, if you haven't watched my videos and you're just here for my vlogs, I don't know, I feel like my skin is less flaky. I have avoided the seasonal affective disorder, winter blues kind of thing that affects me almost every single year. I haven't had that so far. I've been in a really good mood, and I think it's the extra light that I'm getting in the morning, because that's when I use this mask. It was just over the top. It was so over the top, it rubbed me the wrong way, despite me being someone who also has like affiliate links for this, despite me actually enjoying this product, or despite me liking the company as well. They're an English company, I think around since 2009. So they've got a lot of established history selling these kind of LED type products, and they do their own research and development. And they're not just like buying a third party mask and slapping their name on it. These are their masks. Despite really liking the product, I was just so turned off. And I think a lot of people are. And I even saw some comments in that video, which again, I'll link if I remember to do that, just saying this whole vlog is an ad. I only will speak to my own experience using it. So that is my promise to you. You will not find me talking about things, like talking up things and extolling virtues that I'm not seeing and claiming them as my own. I will not do that. This is a product that's expensive. It may have downsides. It may not work for you. You want to be educated before you fork out like hundreds of dollars. And I think the thing that upset me maybe the most was that she was comparing it to like skincare. She was like, this costs what a few bottles of serum would cost. I thought that was the silliest thing to say to people. However, will I still watch her content because I like her garden and watching her garden? Yes, I will. Now, the other thing I want to be completely honest about is that I'm very demand avoidant when it comes to any sort of inkling of someone else deciding what my content should and should not look like. And maybe that's why I've not been as successful as I could have been over these past 8 years. This is the 8-year anniversary of me being here on YouTube. Whatever like genetics or greed level you need to have to be able to make sponsored content. And I know that some people do it because that's their living, but make that sponsored content, send it to the person who's sponsoring, and then they be able to nitpick on what you said, what you haven't said, what you covered, what you didn't. That's just not for me. And possibly that's because I've been used to having a lot of editorial control in my life. And like, I just can't. I just find the idea of it too stressful. And let me tell you, I've been offered some good sponsorships over the years, especially because I've dealt in the hair loss world. I get offered things and I say no to all of them. So that's what you can expect from me. More broke vlogger stuff, I guess. But I don't care. You know what? I still have my integrity, and that is everything to me. Thousands of dollars could not make up for that. I am so hungry, and I normally would not do this in the middle of a vlog, but I'm just going to have a couple tortilla chips. This is La Cocina brand, which I think is Canadian. Let's have a look. It is. Produced by La Cocina Foods, which comes from St. Anne, Manitoba. So I'm in Ontario. Manitoba is the next province over. And it's in the prairies, basically. So, these are good. Look. They're nice and thin. I like. So if you're in Canada, get these. I got this from Walmart. Look how much there is, too. Okay, I'm going to stop now because I'm going to ruin my appetite for dinner if I don't. Does Costco make this salad, this quinoa salad where you are? I know that they have very regional foods, so I don't know if this is like a Canadian thing, an Ontario thing, or what. So dinner tonight is going to be a pretty minimal affair. I've got these green beans that are already washed and trimmed, just gonna rinse them off again because I have trust issues. And then I'm gonna cook these for exactly, and as she says this, she can't remember, it's either 6 or 8 minutes to get them perfectly tender crisp. And then the other thing I'm making, which may or may not be to your liking, but is kind of based loosely in the stir fry that I did. I did a really great I think it's really great. I did a really long stir fry tutorial a few vlogs back for a Cantonese style stir fry. So if you're into stir fry, you'll want to watch that. But just taking the meat portion of it, you can do a sort of modified. It's not a stir fry, but what you can do is basically use the meat and put it in a rice dish, and then you get kind of like this very soft, almost dim sum style, like steamed jasmine rice with steamed meat, steamed chicken in it, and you chop the chicken really fine. And so every bite has like this little bit of tasty, savory, marinated chicken in it, and it's all very soft and like very easy to eat. And my grandmother used to make me this dish. I'm half Chinese. I've discussed that before in a recent vlog. And so most of my comfort foods are Chinese foods, specifically Cantonese foods, because we are Cantonese. Now, the chicken is not much to look at because you use soy sauce in it. You don't have to, but I like to use soy sauce, and so that darkens it a bit. And so it's not, it looks a little starker than it would if I had just chopped it and I didn't use any soy sauce. But really, the key ingredient is chicken powder. I think I showed you guys this before. Yeah, this Knorr chicken powder. Knorr? This chicken powder. It's actually broth, but a lot of Asian style cooking, especially Cantonese cooking, uses it. It's MSG, basically, and I love MSG. Controversial take, I know, but I like what I like. Right, so the secret is when the rice starts steaming, I'll show it to you. You can do your rice obviously like in an instant pot, but I can't in this case because you can't really open the instant pot halfway through, which is kind of what I need to do. So once this reaches the boil, that's when I put this chicken on the top of it. I close the lid and I let it finish cooking. And so simple, that's dinner done. And then I've just got some water that I'm going to heat up to make the green beans. That with a quinoa salad, and that's pretty much it for me. I'm toast. It's the end of the week. I'm too tired to do like an hour worth of cooking for dinner. So that's a meal that everybody will eat, everybody likes pretty much. So that's what it's going to be. While I'm just waiting for this rice to come to the boil, I'm just going to quickly go and pick up my package. And now this is kind of a stupid gripe, but it came from UPS. Have you ever noticed UPS packages have some sort of grit on them? They're always like quite dirty to the point where you have to definitely wash your hands well after. And I will not put it on a surface like my kitchen counter. See if I can balance it and open it. So CurrentBody has sent me their laser hair removal device. So if it's good, you'll see reviews, you'll see me talking about it. If it's not good, you will never hear about this again. Basically, just for my leg hair. I don't really want to do any other hair. We won't get into all of that. If I could stop shaving, that would make me happy. But on the other hand, I'm too like frugal to actually go and get laser treatments, and I hate going for appointments. So we'll see if this is good. If you've used one, let me know down below in the comments whether you liked it, whether it worked. I don't know. I've heard mixed things. The good thing about having dark hair when you're cooking is that at least if it falls down onto the plate or onto a counter, you see it. But on the other hand, it's also more disgusting because you can see it. So I like to pin it up. Should have done this earlier, but better late than never. And I'm just going to finish cooking. When your rice is at this stage, let's have a look here. When it's doing this, it's ready to either turn it down, which is what I would be doing if I were making just regular steamed rice. In this case, though, I'm steaming chicken on top of it. So it's making a really good bubbly sound. I don't know if you can hear that. So what I'm going to do now is just put this chicken over the top. And I like to put it on the top where I see it's quite bubbly. So I think the mistake that people make if they're attempting a dish like this, not that I see many people making it, this is a niche Cantonese dish, is you don't mix this all in. You just want to spread it out so it's a bit thinner. And that is not hugely appetizing, but I promise you it's nourishing and delicious and low fat too, if that's your thing. It's not my thing. But because it's chicken breast, it's quite lean. I do add a bit of oil to the top of it to just coat it a little bit. Cornstarch, chicken powder, soy sauce, a bit of salt if needed, especially if you're using low sodium. And then I'm just going to put it to low. And then in 15 minutes, it's gonna be done, and you have to stir it well at 15 minutes because this will be all steamed on the top, but you wanna really get it through all the chicken sorry, get it through all the rice, and so you give it a good stir at that point. So, I'm gonna be back, everything will be done in 15 minutes. Oh, and I gotta remember to put this on soon, so I will do that. It was my birthday recently. Well, not that recently, but look at these cute birthday cards that I got. I love this one. For a happy birthday, here's a tip from that leading expert on makeup. Make up your age, make up your weight, make up whatever you feel like it's your birthday. It's so funny. My brother gave me this card and I'm still cracking up. And this beautiful one that kind of gives me the vibe of the watercolors that I make has actual feathers and like applique butterflies and beautiful sequins. I'm like very lazy to buy nice greeting cards, but I really do appreciate good ones. And those were just so good. Okay, so it's actually 6 minutes and I rinse these in their actual package, but it's gonna be 6 minutes because they're skinny green beans, French style. I could steam them, but I kinda just boil them, to be honest. I find that the net effect is nearly the same thing. I don't boil them in a lot of water, just like 1 or 2 inches of water. So cover that up, and then the chicken is done. I know, it doesn't look like much, but I'm gonna really break this up and then really I'm gonna move all this chicken around. I mean, if you're judging this, do remember that this is pretty much what shredded chicken looks like out of the slow cooker. Okay, I need 2 hands, excuse me. The flavor is not unlike fried rice. That's what I would compare it to. Minus the egg and peas and other ingredients you might have in it, kind of the same vibe. So I'm going to turn off the heat, just let that sit there for another 5 minutes. This will be done. This will be done at the same time, then it's time to eat. The other cool thing I forgot to mention about this recipe is it only uses like 1 chicken breast for the 3 of us to eat because there's just such a high volume of rice compared to the amount of chicken, and the chicken is so dispersed like the way fried rice would be. So it's really great if you only have like 1 chicken breast and you need to stretch it for a number of you. Okay, another thing that happened this week, one of my latest vlogs, which was like the most innocuous vlog ever, my friend Jen and I go to Italy and we paint together. And I can't even remember what all else happens in that vlog, but like not much because I was recovering from being sick. Well, something happened to that vlog where the YouTube algorithm just ditched it. Like I had so few people, like maybe 100 people watch it over a period of days and days, and that's highly unusual for me. Like, you'll see my vlogs don't always do that well, and that's fine. Like, it was the bottom, like, the worst I've ever seen any video do, and I think I know what happened, and it wasn't the video itself, and I promise, I'm not like one of these paranoid theory people that think that, like, all algorithms are out to get you, although maybe they are. I do not, like, indulge in conspiracy theories, but this is what I think happened. I'm gonna try and explain it in a way that's easy to understand. The problem is not that you're not extremely smart, it's not that, it's just that it's convoluted. There are a lot of these fake marketing agencies. People write to you, they don't write in English very well, it's full of, like, grammatical errors, it comes at weird times in the night, but I'm getting hounded by these scammy, like, marketing companies that want me to hire them to get more views. I'll constantly get comments, and you guys generally don't see them because I delete them or I block them or I do whatever I need to do. I even have like filters in place where they can't get to my YouTube audience, but I do get emails from people and they pester and pester. They want me to hire them. They're like, you're getting so few views compared to your subscribers. I've blocked them, but I still, but you can still see it shows up in your spam. So when I'm just double checking my spam file, I'm seeing them just pestering, pestering, pestering week after week, right? I think though, to cut a long story short, and sorry, I feel like I am beating a bit around the bush, forgive me. I think that they may have flagged my video. I think that they flagged the video because they're not getting a response from me. So they're trying to undermine me to say like, well, see, we told you your videos are not good. So probably maybe even on this vlog, I'm going to keep an eye out. Maybe even on this vlog, I'll get another comment like that. Like, oh, you only have such and such views, even though you've got such and such subscribers. This information is open to anybody to see. You need to hire us. Please get in touch. Now, if they flagged my video, that of course will tank the views. If you flag it as possibly inappropriate content, it will tank the views until it gets double checked. So I think that maybe that's what's happening. Like, I can't think of any other reason. The content is so innocuous. I don't have any music in it. That's like not my music. I don't say anything because there are a lot of words you can say here, and you'll be demonetized, you'll be penalized. So I don't say like anything controversial or even words that could sound controversial. I don't think. I don't know, but if you're curious, the video obviously is still up, and it is doing better because what I did is I took the old one down and then I just reposted it again. And I said, like in the intro, what's going on here? Like, why did this video get tanked? So that was a long and involved way of saying, like, that vlog took hours to make, and I'm just really disappointed that that happened. And if some shady company, if you can even call them a company, is finding some sort of workaround, I'm really not happy about that at all. And I will fight to figure out what it is exactly that is going on because they will not get the better of me. If they're using some sort of a loophole, I'm going to figure this out. So that's where we are with that. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm going to take off my makeup because it is late now, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. This is my view out of the bedroom. Let's put some makeup on. I don't switch around makeup that much. I'm still wearing the Revlon Color Stay, and then it's either this, and when I'm not wearing this, I'm using my Merit stick. This Merit stick is really good when you want to lay your foundation day, but I'm feeling like I would like a little extra help today. And I think this is, yeah, this pump is dead, nearly dead. I like to really get to the bottom of these. I hate to waste makeup. I often mention books here because that's a big part, I think, of having quality leisure time. It's a vital part of my life. And I wanted to mention a DNF, which the kids are saying is a did not finish book. Latest book, and sorry, my voice is so low. I'm groggy until at least 10, and I've always been this way, like since I was a kid, which was not fun when I was in school. My workaround for that, of course, is lots of coffee. And luckily, my son, who's a teenager now, has never been an early bird kind of kid. His circadian rhythm and mine are quite matched. So that was a challenge trying to get him up when he had to get up early for school. But now it's not really my problem anymore that he's older. So the book that I did not finish is All Fours by Miranda July. This was a National Book Award finalist. I think it was made into a movie, unless I'm mistaken. The Baby Girl movie that's out right now by Nicole Kidman. This book was not for me. I'm not going to get too much into it. And I thought, is it because I'm prudish? I don't like spicy books. No, I do. I read lots of romance and stuff like that. I just didn't enjoy it. I don't know. It's about a woman who's in her 40s and she ostensibly goes on a trip to New York, but she stops somewhere that's not far from home. And then she has this sort of whirlwind affair, I guess, with a younger guy. But it just left me, did not care about her, did not care about her story, did not care about whether she hooked up with the guy or not. I didn't even read really to that part. I just was like, this is too far in. I'm going to abandon ship right now and pull the ripcord and get out. So didn't like it, All Fours, even though people are raving about it. I'm pretty basic in my taste too. Like if other people like a book, it's because it's generally got themes that are pretty pleasing or it's written in such a way that is just compelling. But I didn't find either of those things to be the case. And, that's fine. Just move on. But I haven't had a DNF book in 2 years, maybe. I generally can finish what I start. But if you've read it, let me know. And I'm looking for book recommendations. So if you have any, I'd love to know what they are. I do not love doing my eyebrows, and I have to do them every day. But I'm also glad that I didn't do microblading, and I was thinking of making a video. But I don't want to judge anybody that has microblading and is happy with it, but I know of some people, and their microblading doesn't look that great. And what are you going to do at that point? It's tattooed on, right? But the reason that I don't think it's suitable for me, even though I'm kind of in need of it because I have so little eyebrows and I'm always having to touch them up and they're always like too dark or not quite right or the arch is not right. And it's just a real hassle. But I kind of don't mind at the same time. I'm just so used to doing makeup, including my eyebrows. The reason I'm glad I didn't get it is because I have one of these bodies that eats tattoo ink, and I don't have tattoos, like real tattoos, but I have radiation tattoos. And I have another tattoo, which I will not show you because it's not safe for YouTube, but I have one, or I've had breast construction surgery. There's a part of the breast that they fake with the tattoo, let's put it that way. And all the ink is just like absorbing into my system. And my doctor who does the tattoos, it's pretty cool to have a plastic surgeon who works on cancer reconstruction and also can give you a tattoo because she's like, does the whole deal. I had it done at the hospital. She's like, oh, and I went for a touch up. She's like, oh, you have one of these bodies that just eats tattooing. I was like, great. So I'll wear it is, I've got these tiny little blue ones from radiation. I don't know if you can see this there. That was so much darker and now it's faded and it hasn't even been that long. So if I got my eyebrows done, that would be faded. It would probably be a weird blue black or like a gray color or shiny or something. It would look bad. I just know it would look bad. I know you can get them touched up, but you can't, I think, get them touched up indefinitely. And I would be someone on the more frequent side of getting them touched up. So I kind of think with the ink and the technology being where it is right now, it's not a good choice for me. Also, to be honest, of like the 6 people that I know well enough to see their faces a lot, 3 of them, it doesn't look great. Of course, I can never say anything to them, but I don't think it looks better than it did before. Definitely due for a haircut. I don't like it when my hair is this long. Specifically, I don't like it when it can get trapped. But like if I put it back here and it's long enough to go under my arm and get stuck here, that's when I know it's too long. And so we're at that point now. That for me is always the test of whether it's just way too long. But at the same time, it kind of is the easiest to style when it's this length. So it presents a bit of a dilemma. I can get a haircut, which I need, I think, because I don't like that sensation, but it's still very healthy on the ends. And it's easier to style when it's a bit longer. So, you know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll just give myself a few more weeks before I decide on any kind of haircut. Okay, hair's a bit dry on the top. I'm going to spritz with some Way leave-in conditioner. Is this stuff that helpful? I don't know. My hair is not damaged, so I guess it does help. But what I like it for is just, it's still staticky, right? It's staticky. So um, because I'm putting a hat on and off, I find that this helps just create a nice layer, but mostly it just smells good, like, to be honest. It doesn't have any deep conditioning properties, and it is the leave-in, so okay, just a couple little spritzes of that. Now I'm ready to undo all of this by cleaning the house and going to the gym, basically. My hateful cleaning task of the day is deep cleaning my sink, and in this case, I'm going to get out the big guns, which is Vim with bleach. And my cleaning lady used to love Comet, which is the powdery stuff. And I think it's called Ajax in some other markets. And I'm almost wondering now, because I'm easily triggered when I think about cleaning, if I need to go back to using the powdery stuff. But these days I just use a bit of this. And this is not something I do all of the time. But my sink, because we're such heavy coffee drinkers, and my husband is a French press person, and he's always cleaning out that French press, cleaning the grinds, which you'll see I can never seem to get rid of all the grinds in my house. It does need a deep clean and a bleach every now and again. I mean, like once every 2 months or something. This is not something I do or enjoy doing all the time, but I do like using the stuff with the bleach in it because it just gets it so sparkling clean and nice, which I really enjoy. So my tactic is to just let it sit for a while I go into another task, come back 5 to 10 minutes later and rinse it out. And then it's pretty sparkly for such an old sink. I think the sink dates to maybe 1985. I know that we didn't replace it. And this kitchen reno, if you can call it that, was done in the 80s. So the kitchen is hanging on, we need paint and stuff like that. But the sink is like incredibly good quality. All done, off to clean the rest of the house. Now that the days are getting longer, again, slightly longer, I'm feeling really encouraged to get in extra steps before I go to the gym. And that means taking the long way there. And I love passing by this skating rink that is built on a field in a park. And the sound of hockey is just such an iconic sound for me. The sounds of the scratching on the ice and the kids hitting pucks with their hockey stick just reminds me that I live in Canada. As adults, I know we shudder when we think of these cold winter climates, but for kids, they're having an absolute blast. They are living basically the life of a Christmas card, you know, sledding, ice skating, all the fun stuff, hot chocolate, hockey. It's a blast when you're young. It's just when you get old, you get a bit grumpy about it all. I'm actually really sore still from Pilates, so I'm just taking it easy, doing an incline walk at the gym. And then as I go home, I pass a Salvation Army, and I love stopping in here and looking at the dishware. I cannot pass mugs without looking at them. I don't know what's wrong with me. And I like to just like poke around the kitchenware. And I almost bought this shirt. I really quite liked it. It is a striped shirt with these cute zippers at the top, but ultimately I passed on it as I think it was a little too small for me. Back from the gym, just gonna have a little snack. Is it too much food in this vlog? I love watching what other people eat, but I don't know if that's your thing too. But anyway, having a bit of cheese, a clementine orange, and a few water crackers. And Probably my fourth hot drink of the day, tea. When it's cold out, I just have lots and lots of hot drinks throughout the day. Snow is coming. In other places, I think this would be called a snowstorm is supposed to be coming, but we just call it snow here. But if that happens and it's still daylight, I'll show you guys. That should be fun. And I'm just going to sit down and do a bit of painting now. So that's my afternoon. I'm here alone. The guys have gone out swimming. I love this part of the day where it's just like quiet and I have the place entirely to myself. They've gone to the community center. We're lucky. We have a lot of community centers and it's free to swim in indoor pools, obviously. Can't swim outdoors this time of year. Well, I just hibernate. Now, tonally, I know this vlog is a little different from the ones I've been doing for the past number of months since about the fall. And I hope you're okay with that. I hope you're enjoying it. I really tried to focus, or have tried to focus on those older ones, really on aesthetics, on keeping the storytelling really tight. And in this one, it's just much more free flowing. I wanted to make a vlog where I speak a bit more about what's on my mind and talk not only just about like the positive things, but also just things that are bugging me, things that I don't talk about a lot lately here. So it's nice to express that, like that is actually who I am. I'm not someone who's just this like totally chill, only positive person. That's just a side of my personality. I'm quite analytical. I'm quite an analytical person. And I'm quite contemplative about things too. And I can be critical too, like I have that side to my personality. I think most of us do. And I've tried to keep that largely out of vlogs like lately, but I wanted to do something a bit more long form and really kind of get a bit deeper into some issues that I've been experiencing. And I thought some of you have been asking for longer vlogs, and that just felt like a natural fit for me is to be a bit more in depth about topics. So I hope it's not coming off as complainy or that I'm not as upbeat as I usually am. I still feel as upbeat as I normally am. I'm just talking about some issues like as if we were having a really long chat session together. Like if I'm out with my friends and we're having dinner, this is exactly what I would be saying to them, and any of them can attest to that. So I hope that you're enjoying this format this time. I don't know that I'll always do vlogs in this particular type of format, but it just felt nice to branch out and like go deeper. The last thing I want to come off though is mean, because I'm not a mean person. At least I don't perceive myself to be a mean person, and I think that comes off here. I'm just being, I think, well, analytical, and I'm speaking up about certain things that I don't like that have been going on lately, which I think once in a while it's okay to do these deep dives. Anyway, art time. I've been watching a lot of vlogs lately, and on another vlog that I watched, this one by a young girl in her early 20s, just graduated university, and she's having a quarter life crisis. And if I remember, I'll link this one up too in case you want to watch her vlog and send her some love. She is on the struggle bus, boy. And the reason I started watching her vlogs in the first place actually is not anything to do with me feeling like I relate to somebody who's having a quarter life crisis at age 24 or whatever she is, but rather I started watching her because she had made a camera review video on a camera I was once considering and that I did purchase, but I didn't end up liking, but that's beside the point. But anyhow, she was just so upset because she's like underemployed right now. And I could really relate not being, of course, in my 20s at all and just having had the whole career arc, but remembering really well those years before I turned 25 myself that were terrible. I was filled with like self loathing. I didn't have a great job. It was just entry level jobs to pay the bills. I didn't feel creatively fulfilled. And that changed. It did change eventually. And she's at the point where it hasn't changed for her yet, but it will. I think I left a comment even telling her that in her video. But gosh, I would not go back to being 20, not even if you paid me, 30 I would take, but in my 20s, that was a hard time. It was a really fun time, but there were a lot of difficult things. And yeah, I too had a quarter life crisis, so I could really relate to that vlog. Soon as I finished my painting, my entire afternoon was thrown for a loop. My husband gave me a call. They were at swimming, and he asked me if I would come and bring the car and drive over to the community center that they had walked to and take him and our son shopping because he noticed that all of a sudden his shoes were just basically busted, his winter boots. So we are looking for something, but a lot of the things were still quite heavy. But in the end, we found him a pretty cute pair of hikers, basically, that are waterproof that should take them through into the end of spring. And for my own part, I stopped in Marshall's, poked around a bit, looked at these mugs, including these Hello Kitty mugs, because as I mentioned, I'm Chinese and we love Hello Kitty stuff. And this cute stool. Then I had to wait for my husband, who was poking around roots looking for, I don't even know what. So I was basically playing the role of patient husband, just sitting in a chair. And then I became obsessed with these beavers at roots. They're so cute. Then as the sun was setting, no snow to be seen so far, but just drove back and reflected on really what a nice day it's been. I've done all the things that I really enjoy doing. And even though we were running errands and shoe shopping, we still had a lot of fun. I love hanging out with my family. I knew that was gonna happen.
All right, Kelly. Let's just.
I've got a big surprise for you guys. Good morning. We woke up to, well, I'm just going to show you. This is so pretty. Wait till you see it. Ta-da! I think that's a good 12 centimeters, maybe even more. Let's get closer. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That's my glove. It looks to me maybe 15 centimeters. That's a lot. Wow. So pretty when it's like this. Look here. And more snow is gently falling. You can see it on my glove. You can see the individual snowflakes. Oh, very nice. I'm going to guess that this is the last major snowfall of the year, but we do get a lot of snow in February. I'm not going to lie. Look how deep this is. Oh my gosh. These are the stairs and I have to be careful. Oh my gosh, it's so deep. I mean, look at my backyard. Everything is just like a Christmas card. It's so pretty. I feel like this car is going to be in trouble because it's so small and low. Is it stuck? I don't think so. He got away okay, but he's smartly not going too quickly. The roads have not been plowed yet. And on side streets like this, they may not get plowed. Oh, someone's got a snowblower. I hate those things, but I get it. This is so nice. And now we're at the park and there's nobody here. In a recent video, somebody asked me about this coat. It is old now. It's probably 10 years old, maybe a little less. It is from Zara. It's a fake fur. I will tell you one thing about this city, and that is the trees are everything. Look at this. Every once in a while, I get this idea that we're going to move to the suburbs and downsize, upsize, right size, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Move into a bungalow for our senior years, but the easy access to everything really does keep me rooted in place. Plus, I don't know. I'm a city girl at heart, so that would be a hard one for me, I think. I don't know. I've never tried it though, so who knows? Maybe I would love it. One of my guys is going to have to come and clear these stairs. Look at that. So breaking a bit of the fourth wall here, just testing this new wireless mic that I got. Let's give it a little test. Hopefully you can hear me well. I wanted to get one that was very, very discreet because I don't like the ones that are big and have like a flashing light that you can always see. And I've tried one like that, but I didn't like it. So I'm giving this one a try. A lot of the snow melted and got kind of slushy, except for on that car. Going thick as ever. Look at that. Have you guys seen that new hot chocolate maker? I think it like velvetizes the chocolate or something like that. It's like Hotel Chocolat. And it's like this big viral craze and it costs like 150 US dollars. Well, people were saying that this thing does the exact same thing pretty much. It's got one of these magnetic stirrers that foams your stuff. And the upside is this part of it is dishwasher safe, which I haven't been enjoying. I mean, I bought this during COVID times when I was just like, yeah, cappuccinos at the cafe are gonna be far out of my future for a while. So I got this and I use it so much. I put it through the dishwasher so many times and yeah, I mean, it's a little banged up, but it works really well. So if you're like a hot chocolate fanatic, people are saying that this kind of setup works just as well. You don't have to buy the $150 device. I can't remember what I spent on this, but I want to say it was about $70. So I have been liking this a lot. Whatever I spent on it was definitely worth it. So I've got this little skincare basket, and my secret for staying on top of my winter skincare, because my skin has been so flaky, has been this basket. It has been a lifesaver. Let me show you what's inside. So this has been the skincare I've really been enjoying, and I have been so lazy traditionally to like do my legs, do my arms, do my elbows, which always have some sort of eczema or eczema. I know people say it differently, especially this elbow, and I've just neglected it for years. And then exactly a year ago, I'm like, I'm gonna get on top of it this year. This is the year where I pick up some good habits and I don't go through the entire winter with really flaky skin. So let me show you what I keep in here. And I keep this right next to my bed, so there's no excuse not to use it. This is a little large. I would like to actually decant it into something smaller, but this is just like the Costco size Lubriderm bottle, basically. This is the unscented one. This is very watery and very cold in the winter, so I don't recommend it, but sometimes it's nice to have just for hands because you don't always want like a super thick lotion on your hands before you're gonna, read on your e-reader or whatever at night. So you need something that is gonna absorb quick. So that's great for that. Let's see what else is in here. I'm still loving this Nude Sticks Citrusy Mask in Daily Moisturizer. You see, I'm really getting to the bottom here. This is one I repurchased, but I might stop at this point because I've got so many new moisturizers to try out. So I won't purchase this again until I think I run out of some of the ones that have been sent to me in PR. This is just some like cortisone type cream for an itchy spot that I have on my back, or right where my bra is. Forgive the TMI, but there's like this really dry patch that sometimes gets quite raw from where my bra just touches it all the time. So that helps with that. This I've never used. I have so much skincare. This is Keys, the singer Alicia Keys. This is Keys Soul Care, and it comes in this heavy duty glass thing, and it's untouched, it's not open, so that's next. What else is in here? I don't buy all of these things. A lot of them are sent to me, or I go to PR events where I'm given a lot of this stuff for free, but more than half of it I've purchased on my own, like the Nude Sticks. This was a freebie. This is Naturium's Multi-Peptide Moisturizer, and it has vitamin C and panthenol. And I know that this is not great for sensitive skin because my son has sensitive skin. From time to time we've put it on and he doesn't like it. It does have vitamin C, it does have actives in it, and it's in this pharmaceutical grade tube, so it stays fresh. So that is good, but it's not good for sensitive skin. This, though, he never complains about, so it's not very reactive for him anyway. Good old Vaseline. I mean, I've had this so long, the label's like not even on it anymore, but it is brand name Vaseline. Not that I think it makes a huge amount of difference. I've used up quite a lot of it. I like to use it on my elbow, especially. I don't find anything to be as effective really as Vaseline. I've had the prescription stuff that you've seen. I've used the heavy duty creams, that are for eczema. They don't work. Vaseline works the best, especially because for me it's a contact point. Like I'm often using my elbows to like get out of bed or like roll over, which I do a lot of these days. So Vaseline, yeah, effective, inexpensive. What else is in here? Just Lip Medic's lip balm. It's a Blistex type product, but this is the one with the little pot. Actually, my lips are quite dry today, so that feels nice. Very tingly though, so if you don't like a tingly medicated menthol kind of feeling, you're not gonna like this, but if you do, this is a good one. What is this? This must be a Sephora sample. Have you guys heard my rant on eye cream? I don't use eye cream because I have plenty of issues, but like crinkly dry eye is not one of them. My eyes, if anything, are a little bit on the oily side, but this is Peter Thomas Roth, so one of these cult hit Sephora brands, Instant Firm Eye. I've never used this. I don't even know why I have it in here. I should probably take it out because there's just no way I'm gonna put this on my eyes before I go to bed. I know myself well enough by now. Not for me. This is just my different XP. I've been on this for a while and it's fine. Sometimes I stop and I go back on it, and what I like is you can be a bit flexible. It's not one of these products, it's not like, you know, antibiotics or something where you've got to take the full course. Like you can go off and go back on a little bit too. There's some flexibility in how you use it to still be able to see benefits when you need them, if that makes sense. Although I'm sure it's better just to be on it full time, but I don't know, it is a bit drying. They say that this is one of the gentler ones, but I still do find it drying. So right now I cycled off it and I'll probably cycle back on at some point. I don't know when. And I've got these just like random samples. What are these? These must be from Sephora. Strivectin, tightening neck cream. Never use that. Paula's Choice, 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. This is good if you want a liquid exfoliant. I have had like a bottle that I purchased, like the smaller size. And I like that Paula's Choice keeps things pretty affordable compared to other companies. So salicylic acid works really good for the price. So that is my secret to healthy winter skin, which is that you can't just rely on it to be by chance. You need to have like it to be systematic and to be somewhere where you're gonna see it. And for me, it's also nearby where I hang up my towels after the shower, after a bath, so that that's an opportune time for me to just slather myself, specifically my legs. Like my legs get bad. They get really dry and flaky. So my face less so because I'm more on top of the moisturizing and everything, you know. I put a good deal of effort into skincare for my face, but my legs less so, and other, you know, parts of my body. And so the time to get it is like when you're fresh out of the shower, when you're fresh out of the bath and you're just dried off and you haven't put any clothes on yet. That's the best time. So if you're struggling with dry winter skin or dry anytime skin and you're just like, you don't have a good system to put it on, get a little basket like this, put it beside your bed and see if that helps. You don't have to buy a new one, just use one maybe you already have around the house, or maybe you just have like a little empty box from Sephora or something like that. Just stick that beside your bed and see if that helps you. Plus, like, it's a visual reminder. So for some of us, like when you see it, then you remember to use it. But if you stick it in the linen cupboard or something like that, or somewhere in the bathroom, you're not looking at it when you need it, so you're not gonna put it on. So that's my tactic for looking after winter skin. I've just been editing the footage using this miniature mic, and I don't know how I feel about it, you guys. I am so, sorry, I'm in the complete dark here. I am so picky about audio levels. Like maybe you've noticed, I'm not that picky about the camera footage because I think the iPhone, which is what I use to film, does a really nice job because I bought a Canon. I had the DJI Osmo for a while, which I talked about on a previous vlog, and I filmed most of it, and nobody ever said anything, but when the audio is nice, people do notice. And I notice, and I love it to be just really rich and clear, so I don't know if this is hitting the mark, but I'm just not sure how I feel. And I'm sorry to drag you guys into this. This is probably not of interest to anybody, but it's just what's on my mind right now. And as we've said, this is a vlog where I'm just talking about stuff that's on my mind that I often don't talk about it all. But anyhow, back in the kitchen, because in the interest of testing this in some different environments, I am going to show you guys some stuff that I like. I know that I showed you my milk frother. Did I even tell you that that was the name of it? Let me flip you guys around. So yeah, that's the Ivo milk frother. It has a different name now. I'm sure that I found a new one recently because somebody had asked. So I'm going to find that and put that down, and I'll put all the links in the description. But here in the kitchen, let me just show you some other things that I found to be of use. So this is my sort of coffee making station, or rather Niles, because my husband is the one who like does the French press. So there's the French press, there's the freshly ground coffee. This is where I'd like to keep my dishwasher tabs. I don't like to keep them under the sink. I like to just have them here because I just like to have them to be easy at hand. I'm all about finding these like little conveniences and stacking things where they're gonna be in use, because that just makes sense to me. Oh, and I wanted to give a big shout out to this kettle, Kasori kettle. So I was so skeptical when I saw this. I'm like, is this one of these crazy cheap Chinese brands I've never heard of that is just gonna fall apart? I've had this kettle for probably longer than I've had any other kettle. And here's the cool thing about it. It is actually insulated. So And it's stainless steel inside, which is nice too, because a lot of kettles, if you need and use an electric kettle, they're plastic, you know, on the inside, or they're just somehow just not great. But this one has been sturdy, works really well. It doesn't do much, right? It's just basically like on, right? Or not on, you know. Those are the only two levels that we're dealing with. It doesn't like do special temperatures for tea, but I can definitely vouch for this. This is the Kasori Black Insulated Kettle. I think that is the full name of it. It was kind of on the pricier side, and pricier is okay, but not too pricey, because there's some really beautiful kettles out there, like Smeg kettles, and they're just so aesthetic. But apparently I read on Wirecutter, or maybe I heard on one of their podcasts, electric kettles do not last very long. So even if you buy the high quality ones, they're very prone to breaking, which explains why every probably year and a half, 2 years, with the heavy kettle use that we do around here, heavy electric kettle use that we do around here, they're always breaking. We're always replacing them. And that's how I remember it being growing up as well. Like in my grandparents' house, they always had an electric kettle, and they just never last. Like there was no electric kettle even back in the 90s that could just last for 10 years. They were always breaking and needed to get replaced. And apparently that's just part of kettles. Now here's another fun story. And this really happened to me. I was at Target in the US, and I think electric kettles are a little less frequent. I mean, you guys are Americans, many of you in my audience, so you'll know better than I do, that they're not like a fixture in all American homes. You know, a coffee maker might be a fixture, but less so an electric kettle. But if you go to like a UK home, or like a Commonwealth country home where they drink a lot of tea, or in Canada, which is also a Commonwealth country, they're very common. Almost everybody I know has an electric kettle, because tea drinking is common, and then coffee out of like a French press is quite common as well. And really going out of fashion are the sort of old style coffee makers, you know, with like the carafe and the coffee filter. Like I don't see as many of those in homes as I did like in the 80s and 90s growing up. But anyway, back to my story. I was at Target, and we don't have Target in Canada. So I was in the US, and I can't remember if I was just like cross-border shopping in Buffalo, or if I was on vacation in Florida or something like that. But for some reason I was buying an electric kettle. I guess maybe we needed one at the Airbnb we were staying at, or we were buying one to bring home with us. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. As I took it to the cashier, she just turned this thing over and over. She looked at it, and she had this like very puzzled look, and she goes, "All it does is boil water?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's an electric kettle." But we had this, it was like a fun and cute moment. But she was just so puzzled over the whole thing. That really cracked me up, and I'll never forget that moment. It was really good, because I thought it was cute. You know, to be clear, I was not laughing at her. I just thought that was a funny anecdote, because at the end of the day, yeah, she's right. All it does is boil water. Let me show you something I've been loving. Do not judge my fridge. I do not have any groceries in here. It is empty pretty much except for this. Now, have you ever seen these before? They're so good. I had them at my friend Jess's place. She had a couple, and I'm like, oh my God, what are these? But my husband recognized them instantly. He's from Ireland, and so, you know, they had access to stuff like this. It is tea cakes by Tunnix. Still a family business, established in 1890, and I guess it's really famous, but I didn't know that. I got these actually at Walmart here, and what it is, despite this look, it looks like a giant, I don't even know what, like a jam cake or something like that. But what it actually is milk chocolate covered marshmallow. So it's a huge marshmallow in here. But like when I tell you they're so cute, like look how pretty this is. You almost don't want to eat it, almost being the operative word. And it's just like a chunky fellow as well, like very nice. So I'll show you one. Let me open it. So it's just in this cute foil wrapping. Here it is. And now this is kind of going to ruin it, but I do want to show you the inside. So here we are, we've got the chocolatey shell, the little bit of marshmallow, and the cracker underneath. Okay, I've eaten plenty of these, so I'm just gonna pretend to have like a flavor explosion that's unexpected. Oh, really good. Very good, very cute, but also quite sweet. Kids would go crazy for this. So apologies, I know we kind of went from morning to like evening on this day of the vlog. You didn't miss a whole lot. I had a very chill day. It was my running day at the gym. You guys know I go every single day. You've seen here that I go pretty much every single day. So I just had to do my 30-minute run today. And it was fine. I found though I still can't go full steam. I had COVID, and it's been a couple weeks now, and I am mostly recovered. But I do still feel it. Like when I'm trying to get to like my maximum levels of exercising, I'm not there yet in my breath, especially. I can really feel it. So even though I can normally run for 30 minutes straight, I was not able to do it. I was able to do the 30 minutes, but I had to keep like doing it in intervals where I would just slow down and like just take it easy basically a bit. So kind of disappointing, but I think at this point in my life, I realized that it's really no big deal. You know, I'm not going to take it on. I'm not taking on the stress of not being fully recovered yet. It's fine. Like learning how to chill has been such a big part of getting older with me. Like I don't feel like I'm on this frantic treadmill rat race pace anymore. And just stepping back, even making vlogs like this this longer form vlog in particular, has really allowed me to chill, to take the right things more seriously. Let's put it that way. And to let the small things or the things that are ultimately inconsequential, just to chill about those. And I love this saying, I'm not taking that on. And I use it all the time now. Like all kinds of stressful things are happening. I try really hard not to bring them into my videos and into my vlogs if I can avoid it. Like for instance, my husband has been working around the clock. He hasn't had a day off in ages because of the tariffs in Canada situation, right? And he works as a mining reporter, and that's where all the tariffs are coming. So he's just been slammed. So there's that going on. There's other things going on, especially with Canada and takeovers in the news. And I'm not even gonna dig into that here because I like this to be a place where we just chill and nothing goes bad and I don't get into these details. I'm just like, I'm not taking it on. Anything I see in the news cycle, not taking it on. And I've been like that for a while and it has served me so well. I wish I could have done this in my 30s. It's such a great block to anxious thoughts and overthinking things. As soon as I feel the thought entering, I'm just like, excuse me, no. So that painting you saw me do earlier in the video, I went back in and I added some darks, some shade here, and I think these two look quite nice together. It's kind of a shame they're just in this sketchbook, right? Because that is where they'll stay. Typically people don't rip the pages out of their sketchbook, although it's mine. I can do whatever I wish with it. I think it turned out nice nonetheless, even though it's gonna be, you know, closed up in here. And then oftentimes I'll go into my journal and I'll do the same thing over again. Sometimes I'll do this before as a study, and then sometimes I will do it after just to, what's the word I'm looking for? To sort of solidify the skills that I am learning. Like for instance, you know, shading or shaping, I should say, this particular type of leaf, a bit of the shading and the highlights on the vases. It's just nice to practice it again in a really low, like a low pressure environment, low stakes, right? This is an inexpensive journal and there's tons and tons of paper in it. If you are at all into sketching, I know most of you are not, you're just kind of like here to hang out. But if you do want a really good sketchbook, I recommend this one. We're all about the recommendations today. This is called a Talons. Let me get it in the light for you. This is called a Talons Art Creation Sketchbook. They come in so many different sizes, so many different colors. I like this color. I have a coral one, and I'm going to keep buying these because there's so much paper in here. I did not sleep enough last night, and I can really feel it, and I'm so eager now, even though it's not that late, to get my makeup off. So in these cases, when I'm just done for the day, what I like to do is put my hair up in a scrunchie, and people have asked in the past what I sleep in to make sure my hair doesn't get tangled and messed up. Best thing that I've always found is just to put my hair up in a high loose bun using a scrunchie. This seems to rip out the least amount of hair, and for me is comfortable because, as mentioned before, I'm someone who kind of tosses and turns in her sleep. So even when my hair is quite a bit shorter, I can still do this. Even if it's just barely touching my shoulders, I can still do this. And the scrunchie doesn't leave too much of a dent in it either, which is another nice reason to use specifically. It doesn't have to be specifically scrunchie brand. I'm just showing my age. What are these called then? They don't call them scrunchies anymore? I think they do, right? Face wash wise, because I'm wearing the long wear, I would have to be doing a double cleanse tonight. But right now I just want to get the eye makeup off. What I would be going for normally is Editorial. This is nothing special about this. It's fine, but it is nice and thick. So it's one of these nice thick formulations to get the long wear off because they cling. It's not easy to get them off with regular cleanser. So I would use the Naturium. I'm very curious how this audio is going to sound because this is an echoey room. So I don't know, we'll see. And now I'm starting to have deja vu that I did this exact video before talking about these things. And then I go in with this CeraVe Hydrating Foaming Oil Cleanser. However, what I'm trying to do right now is just take off the eyeliner and then I'll worry about the other stuff a little later on. But I did want to get my hair up because, as I said, it's starting to annoy me. So this is CeraVe's
hydrating micellar water. It's basically soapy water, eh? You don't have to rinse it off, but I use it as a makeup remover and I actually find it to be quite effective. So I'm gonna go off with this eye. So that was the eye makeup, and then I'm just gonna use the other side for my eyebrows. So I know this is a very, very jumbo-sized vlog, and my husband was like, who's gonna watch it if it's that long? And I'm like, I watch 1 hour vlogs all the time. I guess it's just, he doesn't understand because he doesn't watch any vlogs at all. And I just love to be immersed for a long amount of time. And it's okay if you don't watch it the whole time, or maybe you had to come back a number of times. I don't know your life. I just know my own, which is that I do get a kick out of the longer ones sometime. I know what I wanted to tell you guys about. If you remember a few vlogs back, I was telling you about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, tiny little handheld like vlogging camera. It's so cute, looks like a little ET. I did end up purchasing it. I did not love it because it had some problem with focusing that I found really annoying, so I ended up returning it. And then I made a little video about like, just a nice little video, like not controversial at all. Just like, I wasn't crazy about this. I wasn't crazy about the Canon. And if you remember a few vlogs ago, I said, I bet I can't even make a video about this because if I do, people are gonna jump out of the woodwork and start freaking out on me and they're gonna call me a Karen and stuff like that. Didn't exactly that thing happen. And here's the thing, I was like, I'm not gonna specifically make any kind of video reviewing the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 because I don't wanna get dragged through the mud. I don't want people freaking out on me for such a stupid reason because the camera community, they're like, I don't even know what to compare them to. It is not a friendly environment, let's put it that way. So I thought, I'm just gonna talk briefly and say like I didn't like either of them. 2-sentence reasons for 2 different cameras that I bought, why I didn't like them and ultimately didn't keep them. But like 95% of the video was talking about how I use the iPhone and how to get the best out of your iPhone if that's what you want to use to make YouTube videos. You really don't need any special equipment. Maybe just find a microphone as you see here because audio is important. But I kind of didn't even go down the whole route of getting really critical about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. But oh my gosh, it set off a firestorm. I had some guy just going crazy on me. Like just calling me a joker. Just it was kind of funny. I just ended up, I think, hiding many of his comments or what. He just like went on a complete kooky tangent. So I did have that happen. And on that video, I refused to be silenced. So I left it up, but I'm having to like filter comments and delete comments. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, why are people such fans of this ultimately interesting, unique, but ultimately it's just a piece of, it's just a camera? Like, how is this engendered such a huge rabid fan base? Like, it's a camera. I'm not attacking your life choices, your religion, anything. Like, so ridiculous. I'm still monitoring that. So if you're interested in seeing what video I'm talking about, I actually placed it both on Helen Avery art channel, which is my other channel. I don't know if you have it, if you know, but I have a second art channel. So I placed the same video in 2 places actually to test them. Once in a while I'll do this. If I feel like I have enough crossover audience, I'll post it to this original channel and also the art channel. And sorry, I know I'm getting into the woods here, but I'll keep it short. They're posted in both places. And so the one on the art channel, I think, is where I got the bozo comments. And I left sort of more innocuous ones, but I've had to like delete other ones. And then people started coming for him. It was the whole thing. And then on this original channel, it has more views, the same video, which I think is called something like, I sold my Canon and my DJI Osmo and I'm using my iPhone now. And honestly, this was not meant to be a provocative video at all, but I guess some people took it as a call to arms or something like that. It's just a camera. It's just a camera from a company, DJI, which is a based in China company that has not even been around that long. Part of me even wonders if it's some sort of like bots or something like that leaving a lot of these comments, trying to nag anybody who says anything that's not completely positive about it. But I knew that this would happen because I've seen comments like this on other people's channels. They will try and bully you. And I say they, I mean these camera fanatic know-it-alls who, if you look on their channel, they have like 5 videos, they will come for you. So YouTube has a really ugly side as well, which I really try and insulate myself from. And vlogs are a really good way to do that because honestly, you just don't get a lot of strangers watching your vlogs just feeling like they're gonna call you names out of the blue. You do get that on a lot of different types of videos. I've talked about this before, right? If you make a video about like foundation, lipstick, you won't get that. If you make a video about hair loss using Rogaine, you'll get called all kinds of names. You'll get accused of being a shill for Rogaine or being like sponsored but not disclosing that. You know, it's been tough. It's been tough ropes to learn for me to know what content is the safer content and what content is just going to drive me bananas, so it's not worth doing. And yet, I still persist in making the things I want to do because I won't be silenced. If I want to talk on the DJI Osmo, I'm going to do that. That's just how I am. This is my channel. It's like the equivalent of my house. You're not going to come in here and just be rude to me. You're going to be asked to leave or you're going to be kicked out, basically. Lots of chatting in this last third of the video, so hope that was a fun hangout. I am going to call it at this point because I know this is really long and it was intentionally quite long. I'm testing my microphone. Pretty sure the next vlog's not going to be this long. There may not ever be another vlog this long but it felt good too. So I've had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. That was really fun. That was a blast. I had a good time.